Hi, everyone. We're going to do this all over again, but welcome to the Master of Science in Information Systems virtual information session. As a render, we are recording the session. My name is Diana, and I will be I'm one of the advisors at Long Beach. Well, I'll be going over the application process, and we have Dr. Mohammed Abdel Hamid. He will be going over the program information in the beginning. So I'm going to hand it over to him first.
All right. Thank you, Diana. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening, dependent on where you are. My name is Mohammed Abdelhamid, and I'm the director of the MSIS. And today I'll guide you over the first half of the info session. So I'll talk about trends in the industry, the job market, why do a degree here at CSULB, and talk about the curriculum and structure of our MSIS program. And then I'll hand it over to Diana to go over the application process. And then toward the end, if you still have questions, we will answer them then. So first of all, because you're here, that means you do have an interest in pursuing a technology degree or a degree in technology, and you're in the right path. Because as you may know, in the past decade or so, technology has been leading the board, in terms of top companies, for example, by market cap, profits, revenue, etc. So if you look at the graph on the left and you look at 2011, so over a decade ago, and then you go back in time. So over a decade ago, the top companies were mostly oil and gas, like ExxonMobil, PetroChina, Shell, even some financial institutions, investment banking, etc. But then starting 2012, 2013, if you look at the graph on the right, the story has shifted. So for the past 10 years or so, the top companies have been mostly tech giants, and then some of the tech startups that have reached very high valuation very quickly. So companies like what we're familiar with, like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, or Alphabet, Meta, Facebook, Netflix, Tesla, now Nvidia as well. All of the AI, generative AI, and AI in general companies nowadays. So this is where the trend has been going. So all in all, technology is the new oil and gas. And even during the pandemic a few years ago, when a lot of industries did suffer, like for example, energy, as we mentioned, energy in row 7 did underperform. And then if you look at row 9, financial institution or financial services also didn't do well. And also healthcare, telecommunication, consumer in general. But if you look at technology, they did pretty well. They outperformed. And that's because of the disruption trend. So again, the past decade, the whole trend was about disruptive technology. Technologies that are disrupting how industries are operating and disrupting industries that are traditionally non-tech. For example, Uber, Lyft, they have disrupted the transportation industry, which is traditionally a non-tech industry. And this was already happening, but what COVID did was that it sped up that digital transformation and that disruption. So it expanded so much quicker and to more companies and more industries. So every industry basically is becoming a tech industry or a semi-tech industry. Now, even those industries and tech companies that have disrupted industries, like Uber and Lyft, they will still continue to need to redisrupt themselves. For example, Tesla, as we know, is working on their robo-taxi app and robotaxi car, which is basically Uber but without a driver, right? And we have already some operational driverless transportation now. Like if you go to downtown LA or in San Francisco or in Bay Area, or if you go to downtown Phoenix, for example, there is already a company called Waymo that is operational. It's just like Uber without a driver. So as this expands, more disruption will happen, and that will impact all the industries that are related to transportation. So it will be impact supply chain, it will impact food and service industry because of all the delivery apps, etc. And this, as we mentioned, has been the technological trend. So industries like newspaper, TV, entertainment, hospitality, food delivery, insurance, you name it, are all becoming tech industries. And with that digital transformation, what's happening is that all of these new companies or existing companies who are trying to keep up with the trend, they need to keep up with the trend through technologies. So they need people with technical skills, they need applications, they need infrastructures, they need security people to secure their data, to secure their system. They need cloud computing infrastructure and sometimes in-house infrastructure. So they need databases, of course, and they need to deal with all of this changing data and unstructured data. They need to incorporate generative AI as well. So with all of this happening, they need massive skills, from people in the tech space, people who can be data analysts, data scientists, cybersecurity analysts, product managers, database architects, database administrators, you name it. And that doesn't only apply to a certain industry. As we mentioned, every industry is becoming a tech industry now. It doesn't matter whether you're healthcare, whether you're transportation, finance, you are becoming a tech industry. And so these are some of the example jobs that our MSIS students land. So data analyst, data scientist is the most popular. Most people go into that space and they land jobs and internships in these type of jobs. We also have cybersecurity analysts and business analysts, system analysts, product managers, project managers, also all of these in one category if you put them. We also have quite some people who go that route. All right, so now if you look at the job market in the US, for example, the Business Insider ranking of top jobs in 2024, and that is top jobs in general, not top jobs only in tech, top jobs overall in the US. You'll see that many of those top 10 or top 9 are tech related. Data scientist is number one and has been, in the top 2, 3 for many years and will continue because all of these applications and systems, as we mentioned, they keep generating massive data that you need to work with. And all of the apps that are coming up now and the features for existing apps, they're mostly data related or data oriented features. Data features that use machine learning, generative AI, reinforcement learning, deep learning, whatever it may be. And the features are becoming more data science related. So that's why you'll see majority of the top jobs, if you look at Glassdoor or Business Insider, they're mostly tech related, a lot of them data related as well. So why do a degree here at CSULB? Well, there are several set of reasons, which I'll talk about in the next few minutes. First, we're strategically located in LA County, which is bordering Orange County. And so we're in a strategic place in Southern California. And with that comes a lot of opportunities. There are many big companies that have their main offices in this area. If it's not the main, the second or the third. And many tech startups are happening also here. And also, there will be a lot of opportunities within driving distance. Not only what our campus offer, and our campus offers a lot of opportunities, but because of the strategic location, you can attend many industry conferences, academic conferences, datathon, hackathon, competitions in general that are happening all around you. And if you compare this to a campus town that is in the middle of nowhere, where the town is just a campus, there is nothing else, then you're only limited to what the campus offer. If you want to attend anything else, you will need to travel. So there is a burden there. So, and then we have faculty with passion for teaching. Many of them worked or still work in the industry, and with that, they bring industry experience and a connection. We've also revamped our curriculum in the past 2, 3 years with a focus on AI and cybersecurity. So we have electives in 2 tracks, which you could choose from, or you could mix and match. And you could go more of the AI data science track, or you could go the cybersecurity track and select courses there. The core courses cover the main topics like, cloud computing, databases, SQL, also data analysis, programming, of course, Python. And but also if you go the AI route, then Python will be there in every single course and etc. So in addition to having state of the art or cutting edge technologies that we covered in all the curriculum when we revamped it, we wanted to make sure the curriculum is consistent. So if some of you are doing your bachelor's still, or you did your bachelor, you would have noticed that there is a lot of inconsistency in most universities, where you learn one language in one course and then you learn a different language in the next course and so forth. So you learn a little bit of everything, but you're not good at one thing. What we did, we picked the top language or tool in each area, and we use that across the board. So for example, Python is the leading, language for data science. So it's used for all data science related, AI related courses across the board, right? Classes are offered in the evening, so it's usually 7 to 9:45 p.m. if it's during the week. And occasionally we may have a class on a Saturday. And this allows people to work full-time or part-time, or have a TA-ship or internship, in the morning and then go to school in the evening. For international students, we are STEM designated, so that gives you the ability to extend your OPT for up to 3 years. We also have a department or a division called the Graduate Business Career Services. And this is just a department just for you guys, for graduate School of Business students. And what they do, they offer a lot of help and support and services for our MSIS students and graduate students in business school in general. Things like resume writing, they do mock interview with you, they have some internship programs, they have their own career fairs, and also they have established the Graduate Mentor Program, which is a great program that allows current students to be mentored by students or alumni who are already in the industry. So for example, if you want to be a data scientist, they'll find you a data scientist in the industry who's gonna be your mentor throughout your journey here. And usually a mentor doesn't have more than one, two, so that they can have quality, time at quality advising time with the mentee. And they have also a lot of networking opportunities. They do a lot of alumni networking and then industry networking events. And networking usually is a great way to also enhance your chances of landing a job. In addition, they have free tutoring for quantitative courses and like technical, like Python, for example. We are also accredited by AACSB, which is the most elite accreditation any business school could have. There is about only 6% of business schools that are AACSB accredited, and we're one of those. We're also known to be ranked highly for social mobility. So in the US News 2024 ranking, we were number one across the US. So we're ranked one in social mobility. So here's an example of our schedule. Now, as we mentioned, we continuously revamp our curriculum, so this may change, but this is what the current cohort is doing. So the current cohort who are either in their first year or second year, this is what they're following. So the courses in black font, they are the core courses. Everyone has to do them, like programming for business analytics, business data analysis, etc. Now, the color courses are electives, examples of electives. So if you want to do the AI route, you do machine learning, you do deep learning, you do responsible AI, etc. If you want to do the cybersecurity, you do information systems and security, you do cybersecurity analytics, you do cybersecurity risk management, etc. Or you could also mix and match. So we're a cohort program. So you take courses with the same cohort for 2 years or 4 semesters. So fall, spring. And you complete 10 courses. You take 3 each semester, except your last semester, you only take 1. So some of the learning also happens outside the classroom with extracurricular activities. And as I mentioned earlier, because we are in a strategic location, there are a lot of opportunities around us to participate in datathons, hackathons. And we continuously, encourage and support and mentor our students to participate in these competitions. And they have been excelling in the past few years. So this is an example of some of them. So you'll see we have at the bottom is 2022. We have a group that won the data science hackathon. And then 2023, we have the same, also a group of MSI students won in the same hackathon. In the middle, we have in 2023, we had several groups participate in Alteryx competition, Alteryx Datathon, and Alteryx is an AI and analytics company that is headquartered here in Southern California, and we have a very strong relationship with. So we had a group, multiple groups who participated there, and we had people landing in the first and third groups. And on the right, also, this is last year, the hackathon again, and we had a group win also first place in visualization. So you'd see, our students perform pretty well, which speaks of the quality of our students. Now, we also do our own industry meetup. So every semester we have a meetup that happens, and we bring industry speakers based on a specific theme. And this is a way also to allow you to network. And because it's only for MSI students, it's better opportunity for you to connect with the speakers and to network and to learn. For example, with the tech giants or big tech last year, and we brought speakers from Google, Netflix, Meta, etc. And we do this every semester. Our next meetup is actually happening next week on Thursday. So this is also our winner. These are our winners from the Alteryx Datathon in 2024 that happened in September. So we had people in the second group and third group. So second group, they won $6,000 in scholarship, and then third group won $4,000. And last year, 2023, we had Musharraf in the first group that won $12,000. So again, our students do pretty well. And hopefully, if you join us, you can participate in also the 2025 hackathon or datathon. In addition, also this semester, we started a partnership with Google and Coursera, and with that, we offer about 11 of the Google professional certifications for free for our students, so they can learn and attempt the certificate and gain the certificate without paying for it. So that's also an opportunity to allow our students to enhance their learning and also enhance their profile, resume, etc. And in addition, this semester we started a new industry partnership. And in addition to our industry meetup, we do these tech talks in a semester. We just did one because we started this semester. We may do another one before the semester ends. So the goal is to do 1 to 2 of these industry tech talks every semester, in addition to our meetup. And these are basically two tech user groups that are from the industry, and they meet once every month or so, usually in like a restaurant, or they find a place to meet and talk tech. What we did, we brought them to campus. So we brought both groups and they talk tech, but instead of in a restaurant, they talk on campus with you guys. And this allows you to be active members or part of two industry tech user groups. And this allows you to network, learn, etc. So these are all the stuff or many of the things we do for our students. Now I'll hand it over to Diana to go over the application process. And then at the end, if you have questions, we'll answer them.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. All right, so we are jumping right into the application process. We'll be going step by step about what's required for you to submit. And again, we'll open it up for any questions and answers at the very end. Sorry. All right, so let's start with eligibility requirements. So a bachelor's degree from a regionally accredited university is required. So either you're a senior right now, about to graduate, or in the progress of graduating, or you already obtained your degree. The minimum GPA requirement for the university is at a 2.5 out of a 4.0 grading scale. Just keep in mind that the College of Business is a little bit higher since the programs are more competitive. So typically you would want to at least have a 2.75 or greater. Just kind of keep in mind as well that just meeting the minimum or general requirements don't automatically guarantee admission to the MSIS program. Now, if you obtained your degree from outside the US, you would be subject to submitting an English language proficiency exam, meeting that requirement. So on your screen, there are going to be 3 tests that are listed. So TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo. The minimum scores are also on your screen as well. As a reminder, we'll be sending out this presentation, but in the PowerPoint, they'll have links to additional test scores that you could submit or that are acceptable by the university. Now, you don't need to take all 3 tests. It would just be one of the tests. All right, application process. You'll first create your profile through CalState Apply. You'll complete 4 quadrants. We also have a step-by-step application guide as well. There is a $70 application fee. Just keep in mind that this is non-refundable, and unfortunately, we do not offer any application fee waivers for any grad students applying to the program, so it's not offered. Now, our fall 2025 deadlines are coming up, so it is going to be next Saturday, March 15th, for any international or F1 applicants. For any domestic students that are not international students, you have a little bit extended deadline of June 1st of later this year, but we just always encourage you to submit your application earlier as opposed to waiting till later on. And then you'll submit your transcripts and test scores to the university as needed. Now, the components of the application are going to be uploading your resume, having a video statement of purpose, short answer statement, 2 letters of recommendation, and just keep in mind, good news, the GMAT and GRE exam, that is not required for this program, so you do not need to submit them. You don't even need to ask for a waiver, it's just not required. Now, when you go on Cal State Apply, this will be one of the screens that you see. Make sure that you are on the correct semester. So right now, our application is open for fall 2025. Now, you would be selecting either graduate student, if you're a domestic student, or if you're international, make sure that you click on the tab right next to that, and then that will start the application process. Now, these are the 4 quadrants that I kind of mentioned earlier. So it'll be personal information, academic history, supporting information, program materials at the very end. Now, if you take a look, when you finish a whole quadrant completely, that circle will be completely green. So that's how you can indicate like, oh, I finished that whole section. I don't need to worry back on that. If you've started filling out a portion of the quadrant, the circle on your screen will be kind of half filled green. So you'll know that, hey, this section is not completed thoroughly. Also, let's say if you try to submit the Cal State Apply and not everything is filled out completely, the system will not allow you to submit it. So kind of just keep that in mind that all 4 quadrants need to be completed green. So personal information, this is going to be your biodemographic information. So make sure that your name, date of birth, check if your email address is correct, your contact information. So this is kind of that information that you need, kind of your personal information. Next quadrant is academic history. So this is where you'll be listing the universities or colleges attended. If your college isn't listed there, that's okay. They might have an option for you to fill it out or just kind of, it might be listed as like unknown college, but that's all right. GPA entry, try your best to input that information. For any international students, it might be, it's okay if you put in a number. Our enrollment services or the Center for International Education, when they evaluate your transcripts and calculate your GPA, they will be able to correct this information. So it could just be an estimate or just kind of input zeros. That should be okay as well. And then standardized test. As a reminder, again, GMAT or GRE is not required. And then if you do need to submit an English language exam, you can also list that there and just make sure you submit your scores officially to this university later on. Okay. Quadrant 3 is probably going to be your favorite quadrant. It's asking for supporting information and asking for your experiences. You can just select the option, I'm not adding any. So that will bypass this section. So it'll be really short, and you can fill that section out really quickly. All right, quadrant 4, this is where you'll be spending most of your time preparing your application. We'll go step by step on what forms you need to submit again, documents, and then kind of walk you through this process. All right, so what's different with our application process is we have a video statement of purpose as opposed to a written statement of purpose. So in this video, it's typically going to be around 3 to 5 minutes total. So you kind of want to spend at least 1 minute over each of the questions that are on your screen. So the prompts are going to be first, you want to briefly introduce yourself, talk about your academic background, like what was your degree in, and if you have any work experience, you can talk about that as well. So just kind of introducing yourself and letting the MSIS admissions committee know who you are. Next, what are your career goals over the next 3 to 5 years? What is your long-term dream job? And then what are you doing specifically to help prepare yourself for graduate school? So you kind of want to elaborate, kind of talk about each of these points thoroughly. Um, you can use any sort of video platform, such as YouTube. Some students use like Vimeo or even like Google Drive. Just make sure that your video is public and is viewable without our office having to log in or create an account. If your video is privated or if it's been removed by YouTube, we will be reaching out to you for you to kind of correct that. And it will hinder part of the application process potentially. So go ahead, before you're submitting it, make sure everything is good to go, public and viewable. And then you want to copy and paste this video link to the text box on Cast and Apply. All right, so this is the document section. So you'll be uploading resume, essay, and unofficial transcripts. So make sure that you're updating your resume, put in all the information of your past experience or internships, anything like that. You'll be uploading unofficial transcripts. This is technically optional, but for international students, it is in your best interest to upload this. So after you submit the applications, you will be provided a direct link to the International Admissions Document Portal to submit your unofficial transcripts again from non-US institutions. So you could upload it here, but then you'll be also sent another email with a direct link to the CIE International Admissions Document Portal. So you want to upload them on both ends. And this is mainly for students from non-US universities. Okay, so short answers essay, it's 1 page, maximum 12-point font. You're describing a time where you experienced a challenge or obstacle. How did you overcome it? And then what would you do kind of differently if you would to relive that experience or experience that same challenge all over again? So answer any other questions that are marked as required. Just make sure you kind of talk a little bit about that. This also lets the admissions committee know a little bit about what you've been through, what some of the challenges that you've kind of gone through and overcome. And then just make sure that the information is kind of appropriate for the admissions. And yeah, just kind of, this will show them kind of your writing style, but also show them a little bit about your background. All right, letters of recommendation. So this is required. You'll be entering the name and email address of 2 recommenders, and then they will receive an email later on to upload the letter of recommendation for you on separately. So the recommendation should include like a short summary of how they know you, the history, how'd you meet, how long have you worked together, or were they in your class, a detailed statement of the characteristics that they believe will enable you to do well and excel in graduate studies in your master's program, a few specific descriptions of the contributions you've brought, and then a strong closing statement of endorsement. So I know we get a lot of questions like, oh, do I only ask my professor or can I ask someone else? You can ask a past or current professor, lecturer, a past or current advisor, supervisor, manager. So someone who could really vouch for you and kind of write a little bit about that history with you, and just make sure that it is a strong closing statement of endorsement. All right, transcripts. So for any students who went to a university in the US, for domestic applicants, just make sure that you don't submit your official transcripts until after you have submitted and paid for Cast and Apply. So don't submit it earlier than that. It'll take the enrollment services longer to attach your transcripts to your application. So make sure that you submit Cast and Apply first, and then you submit your official transcripts after that. So for your case, though, you could submit them electronically to the email on your screen. Just keep in mind that you would need to request this directly from your school, and the transcripts need to be sent directly from that university to Cal State Long Beach. Or you can mail it over to our admissions office. And then good news for any Cal State Long Beach current student or alumni, you don't need to submit your Cal State Long Beach transcripts to us. We have access to those, so this is one thing that you don't need to worry about. All right, transcripts. If you went to a university that's outside the US, make sure you're uploading a copy of your transcripts. If it's not already translated to English, make sure that there is an English word-for-word translation also that you have from your bachelor's degree within the quadrant 4 of Cal State Apply. So make sure that you're doing that on Cal State Apply. And as a reminder, check your emails for the direct link to upload it on the portal as well. So 2 areas. But good news is you only need to submit your official transcripts after you've been offered admissions and you've accepted to the program. So we can kind of go off of your unofficial transcripts first, and then after you're formally admitted, that's when you'll be submitting your official sealed and university stamped transcripts. For any kind of additional questions about this, make sure you visit the CIE International Admissions website, or you can contact them by, submitting the ticket. All right, some FAQs. As a reminder, this MSIS program is STEM designated, so yay. You do get that additional OPT extension, so that's good. Do I need to have work experience in IS or IT to apply? The answer is no. Work experience in IS or IT is, desirable, but it's not essential and it's not required for you to have that before you apply. Now, do I need to know how to code before I join? Now, coding is desirable, but again, it's not essential. General Microsoft Office expertise, including spreadsheets, database, SQL, SQL, statistical computing with Excel, SPSS, and knowledge of programming languages such as Python. This will be helpful for you in your success in the program. Just because this program is going to be more technical. If you do already have that background, it will just help you move along. Or if this is new for you, learning these new coding languages will help you with this program, and this program will also help you learn those languages. Now, what is the student experience? We do have a link later on. You'll get access to this presentation, to student panel webinar to kind of learn more about the student experience. So you can kind of check that out. And then cost of tuition. So the MSIS program, it's a flat rate fee program. So it's the same for domestic and international students. So there's no additional non-resident fee. So that's good news. It is going to be $1,050 USD per unit. And the total start to finish will be $31,500 for the program. And good news, because this program is flat rate, is in partnership with our CPACE program. This tuition also includes your textbooks, any materials that you needed for the class, and then your parking, or if you aren't driving, it'll be going towards a bus pass instead. So this program is kind of all-inclusive, flat rate, and it's the same for domestic and international students. All right, so here's a sample of kind of some testimonies from recent graduates on your screen. So people are talking about their experiences. You can see like, where they're working now, kind of a little bit about just the overall experience in the IS program. All right. You also have the option to meet with a current MSIS student. You'll have access to this link later on. And just kind of keep in mind though, the purpose of connecting with the program ambassador is just kind of for you to gain more insight into the student experience. So it's not appropriate for you to ask about, time frame of when you could be admitted, ask about review of your application materials, or ask about like student visa compliance or anything like that, employment. So it's not that time to be asking about that, but just asking about, how their experiences in the program. So that's kind of what this is for.
And Shreya is here, Diana. Shreya,
Oh,
if you want to introduce yourself,
oh,
she's
sorry.
there.
Oh, yeah, Shreya, do you want to talk a little bit?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Shreya, and I'm a current student at CSULB MSIS program. And yeah, you can connect with me to book an appointment. I'll be happy to help.
All right. Thank you, Shreya. Shreya, can you put the link on the chat as well?
Sure, yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you guys. So yes, you can meet with Shreya and she'll be able to kind of answer any questions that you have. And then we have that link for you to kind of book that meeting with her. So thank you so much for introducing yourself. And then you'll be able to kind of meet with her. All right. So here are some application support drop-in sessions. So these are for students who are kind of in progress and need kind of additional support with CalState Apply. So typically we have these from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. So right now we have one next week, March 12th, April 16th, May 14th, and 28th. There is that Zoom link. There is no RSVP for this. Just make sure at that date and time that you're clicking that link, and then you can kind of drop in. We'll have one of our advisors kind of help answer any questions that you have. So this is an area for you to kind of drop in real quick for any quick questions. All right. So any additional questions? You have our email address. We're really fast about replying to them. Our phone number, and then our website as well. So I'm going to stop recording. And then we'll open up for questions in a little bit. Hold on one second. Thank you guys.